Hi, today I'm going to be talking about one of the fastest growing sports in America that you may not know about. Now, by a show of hands, how many of you have heard of disc golf? Disc golf is what turned into my favorite hobby, and I think if you tried it out, it might be your favorite hobby too. My uncle introduced it to me about a year ago, and what it is it's a combination of frisbee and golf. And my goal today is just to tell you a little bit about this sport so that hopefully you try it out for yourself. As I said, disc golf is a combination of frisbee and golf, where you have these small circular discs that you throw into chain-linked cages. And similarly to golf, the person with the least amount of throws to reach the cage wins. Now in every hole in disc golf, there's a par. Par is basically like the average number of throws it would take for you to get your disc in the cage. And you want to try to get under par in every round that you play. Discs are usually separated into three categories. The first is the driver, and that's for getting as much distance as possible off the tee. Ideally, your drive should set you up with the second shot that should be used by the mid-range. Mid-range is meant to use as much force as you did for the drive, but the disc won't go as far, so it'll give you that accuracy that you need. And then the next shot will be the putt shot, and putters are usually heavier than the other two discs, and you use that as like the last shot just to get your disc into the cage. Disc golf was based on the idea of the frisbee originally, and it was developed by someone named Ed Headrick in 1966. According to the article, The Growth and Distribution of Disc Golf, it was written by Zachary Reinke. He talked about how Ed Headrick, also known as Steady Ed Headrick, developed this idea of the frisbee, and he was known as the father of disc golf for his creations. So he created this frisbee, and he thought that he could enhance it. He was like, this is great, everyone loves it, but let's see if we can do more with it. So the disc golf pole hole, originally the first name for the disc golf cage that we know of today, was created in 1975. So instead of just throwing the frisbee to your friends, they actually threw it into this pole hole, and hence disc golf was created. Ever since then, disc golf has become a widely known sport that has grown popular in the 1980s, and ever since then, it's grown even more popular to this day. Now, it's become so popular that it's actually what's known as a spectator sport. So people are coming to these disc golf events and games to see professional players play. It's really fun. The usual sport contains 18 holes, so you have the front 9 and the back 9, and that's the usual length of a disc golf round. And one of my personal favorite and one of the greatest players of all time is known as Paul McBeth. Now McBeth is he's won 15 major tournaments in his career. This is really, really good when you look at how difficult it actually is, because a lot of players have developed a really good rhythm in how they play the game. Another really good player is Ken Climo. He was actually nicknamed the Champ and he has 229 professional wins. So from 1993, I believe, to 1995, he actually won the Japan Open every single year that he played in it, according to discgolf.com is where I found that information. Now, it's such a fun leisure activity, disc golf, but it also has very many benefits on your mental health. Now, as I previously mentioned, disc golf takes place in nature. You're out in the trees and you're throwing with friends, or you can go alone, but you're always surrounded by nature and the birds chirping, and it's quiet and beautiful and peaceful. Now we know that there was a study done by the mentalhealthsociety.org, and they figured out that being in nature and combining that with playing sports is really good for your mental health. It can calm you down, it can relax you, it can lower your heart rate. So after that really rough day, you might want to consider playing around a disc golf and you'll feel much better. There were many studies done to show that your energy is boosted, overall feeling is better, and you develop more serotonin. Serotonin, as we know, as some of you may know, is the happy drug. So the more serotonin that we have, the better and overall we feel. So along with all of that, to top it all off, it can help you get better sleep, because any sport in general, if you're going out and playing sports, if you play to your maximum potential, afterwards you should feel tired, and it'll help you get much better sleep than if you hadn't originally played the sport. Now, one great aspect I think of disc golf is that it's even in most places around the world, it's free to play. Along with a lot of courses in the United States in particular, it can only probably range at around $20 to buy a set of discs. We see this is a little bit different in Europe, but it usually takes a big five, for instance. It's only $20 for a starter set of three, the driver, mid-range, and putter. So anyone can play disc golf. That's the cool part. Of course, there are exceptions. As the better you get, the better quality of equipment you're going to use. It can range from $200 to even $2,000. That's usually what the pros use. But to start off, usually in your first 2 years of playing disc golf, personally, I haven't needed to use these professional discs, and I'm shooting 63s, so I feel pretty good. So I would say that all in all, with the cost, the way it makes you feel, and how fun it is, I'd say that disc golf is a great sport to spend time with your family and friends playing. I think that everyone would benefit from playing disc golf, and I highly recommend that you try it someday, because who knows, you might really like it. Well, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it, and hopefully I inspired you to try out disc golf.